Everyone. My name is Karina Gonzalez. I am the Deputy Director with Hammond Climate Solutions. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we are so excited to release the third edition of our climate report card for elected officials. This collaboration between Hammond Climate Solutions, San Diego Environmental Voters, and Climate Defenders Action Fund celebrates elected officials who have demonstrated their commitment to addressing the climate crisis while highlighting how elected officials can be doing more to advance climate action. The report card graded San Diego elected officials on the actions they took last year on important issues to address the rapidly accelerating climate crisis. The report card thoughtfully weighted the issues based on if the issues had long-lasting environmental impacts, and we are so excited to produce a report that has gone through a lengthy review process with full transparency and feedback on the issues we considered from elected official offices. Last week, a nationwide survey was conducted to evaluate how 3,000 U.S. counties ranked for who is the least prepared for climate disasters. San Diego County ranked 11 and scored extremely low on resilience and preparedness, as well as vulnerability for our disadvantaged communities. The study concluded that nearly $800 million is expected to be lost annually due to a lack of resilient infrastructure. It's clear that San Diego is extremely vulnerable to climate disasters, which will only continue to become more frequent and more devastating. Although our organization strive to make this report card as comprehensive as possible, please note that the report card only grades what elected officials voted on and does not take into account actions elected officials should be taking in order to address the climate crisis. So although we feel like the city, county, and the mayor should be doing more in order to address the climate crisis, the report card is as objective as possible, and we only graded actions that were taken. Our organizations are doing all that we can to collectively make strides, but that can only take us so far. We need elected officials to work with us to adopt bold climate policies to ensure a just and livable future for all. And with that, it's my pleasure to welcome San Diego County District 3 Supervisor Vice Chair Tara Lawson-Remer, who for the third year in a row received an A grade on her report card.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so proud to be standing here celebrating earning an A grade on the climate report card for the third year in a row. Thank you, Hammond Climate Solutions, for this honor. And I appreciate all your dedication and advocacy for a just and sustainable future. So thank you so much. The importance of bold climate policies cannot be overstated. Our children's future absolutely depends on the actions that we take today. We are seeing the impacts of the climate crisis, and we must strive to keep sustainability at the forefront of all that we do here in San Diego County. This requires elected officials fighting for a safe and sustainable climate future. I've made it a priority to upgrade this county's stormwater infrastructure to protect local water supply, prevent pollution and toxic runoff from contaminating our beaches and bays, and to fight back against sprawl development that is increasing the number of vehicle miles traveled on our roads and our carbon emissions. I've been focused on fighting to ensure that we have clean air and clean water, and that we can get to those solutions with clean energy that are investments for our future. I've been working with my colleagues to tackle climate change, including a huge victory to move towards 100% renewable energy by 2035 across San Diego County. We're installing more solar panels on roofs, we're building electric charging stations, and we're making hundreds of millions of dollars of other clean energy investments for our community. So I'm continuing to push for a transition to clean and renewable energy at the county through my work at San Diego Community Power as vice chair. I'm proud that my voting record demonstrates my commitment to stopping the climate crisis. I know we still have a lot of work to do to equitably tackle the climate crisis that we all face. And I recognize the county must do more to advance bold climate solutions. But I know none of this can be done without the organizing and advocacy of all of our communities. So thank you again to Hammond Climate Solutions for this honor, and I continue to fight for our environment alongside you. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is Maykent Salazar on behalf of Supervisor Nora Vargas.
Hello, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Maiken Salazar. I am the Environmental Justice Policy Advisor in the Office of Chairwoman Vargas, and I'm here to speak on her behalf as she couldn't be present today. She sends her regards. First of all, I want to thank the Climate Defenders Action Fund, Hammond Climate Solutions, and the League of Environmental Voters for this important and valuable report. This report will ensure that community members understand how effectively their elected officials are addressing the biggest threat to our future. I am proud to receive an A grade for the third year in a row, which is a reflection of my commitment to stopping the climate crisis and prioritizing climate justice. At the county, we've taken huge steps. Some of the climate work that has been most meaningful to me includes the Regional Decarbonization Framework, the Climate Action Plan, and all the work that we have done regarding the environmental justice crisis at the Tijuana River Valley, just to mention a few. While we have accomplished more on climate this past couple of years, we still have a lot to tackle. And that's why I will continue to advocate for policies to reach zero carbon by 2035, but our vision goes beyond that. To build healthier and stronger communities, we must ensure that the benefits are felt by everyone, no matter your zip code, especially our communities of concern. That's why today, I pledge to continue to work to fight for policies that prioritize both climate action and climate justice. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Matt O'Malley with the San Diego Environmental Voters.
Thank you. Again, my name is Matt O'Malley with San Diego Environmental Voters. We were formerly the League of Conservation Voters, but changed our name in alliance with our statewide organization because we realized conservation is just one part of all the environmental integrity and climate change issues that we need to address. The purpose of the San Diego Environmental Voters is really to vet and endorse and hopefully elect folks that really have environmentalism at the core of what they're about, and to address the climate change and other environmental issues, beaches issues, everything about sprawl and what you've heard from Supervisor Lawson-Remer. Now we have this report that allows us to sort of be the natural reflection of, once they make a pledge, how can we follow up and ensure that they are kind of following through with the pledge that they've made to us as an organization, to the community. And so we're very proud of actually some of the good grades that are the folks that we had actually endorsed got in this. But as we mentioned, there's so much more work to be done, right? This was just on actions taken, not actions that need to be taken. San Diego, as you heard, is really not well prepared for climate change and resilience, and we need to change that. And we're hoping that the folks that we have endorsed and continue to endorse really are going to change that, right? Turn it around and make us leaders. Lastly, I just want to encourage any elected officials to really use those of us at environmental voters as resources. As they're here to serve the community, we're here to serve them. And so I want to thank you so much for all the work that you have done, and really was happy that we could collaborate on this report. So thanks.
Thanks so much, Matt. Up next is Madison Coleman on behalf of City of San Diego Councilmember Kent Lee.
Good morning or afternoon, everyone. It's good to be here. I'm Madison Coleman, as mentioned, Policy Advisor for Councilmember Kent Lee, who represents District 6 of the City of San Diego, spanning from Sereno Valley, Mira Mesa, University City, Kearny Mesa, so the Convoy area, and then we also share a small part of Scripps Ranch with District 5, who's represented by Councilmember Von Wilpert. Councilmember Lee sends his regards. He wishes he could be here, but he's currently in closed session, which he couldn't get out of if he tried, so I'm here on his behalf. One of the various policy areas that I advise the councilmember on is the environment and the climate. As we all know here today, we are undoubtedly facing a climate crisis that will continue to exacerbate and affect all of us, but particularly our environmental justice communities and our communities of concern first and worst. And so to do our part in mitigating the climate crisis, in 2022, the city adopted an updated climate action plan with a goal to reach zero carbon by 2035. That is an ambitious goal, and I think the city should certainly be applauded for being proactive in that effort. However, as we all know, all of our city plans, including the CAP, are only as good as how well and how efficiently we are able to implement them. And that implementation takes funding, preferably long-term funding streams for our ambitious goals to come to fruition. As many of you know, the city just passed our fiscal year 25 budget during a very challenging budget year. Councilmember Lee is the chair of the Budget Committee, and our office worked to keep as much equity, sustainability, and resiliency and climate funding as possible in the budget despite facing a tough budget cycle. And so the council member will continue to work with his colleagues and the mayor to pursue and prioritize funding for the Climate Action Plan and Climate Equity Fund moving forward. Lastly, I know that the council member is very pleased to have received an A grade on the climate report card, especially in his first term in office. I made sure to let him know that's not an easy thing to do, and so he passes along his appreciation, not just for the grade, but more importantly, for the work our environmental organizations and advocates do in watchdogging and holding our city accountable to the promises that have been made. Congratulations again, and thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Finally, we have Cecilia Aguillan, Climate Defenders Action Fund.
Good morning, everyone. The CDAF's mission is to stop climate change, achieve 100% renewable electricity by 2035, and zero carbon by 2045. We thank the representatives that received an A mark on this year's report card. At the same time, we encourage them and everyone else to treat climate issues with much more urgency than ever, as we are approaching the midnight hour for irreversible global climate catastrophe, made evident by than ever record heat waves, like today, for example, and the devastating floods that we saw earlier at home. Also, frequent fires like the ones burning now just north of us and in Otay Mesa are not only threatening entire neighborhoods, but also causing home insurance costs to skyrocket. So, what should we do? How can we continuously rebuild lives in neighborhoods devastated by climate change? Let's be honest, the present is not sustainable. We need our city and county leaders to help us reverse the current course by eliminating fossil fuels from our buildings and streets as soon as possible. We have the technology to do so. We cannot wait another minute. Therefore, we ask that San Diego County passes an enforceable and actionable climate action plan now and begins implementing it today. The city has a decent cap, but continues to pass land use and transportation plans that do not conform to the cap and leave communities, their health and their future highly vulnerable. How can this go on without real leadership? There is no cavalry coming to rescue us. You, our elected officials, are the ones we are waiting for to lead us out of this mess. We hope to count on you to make a difference before it's too late. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.